I moved around a little bit. I grew up primarily in Singapore and London, but I was born in New York and I spent a little bit of time in Hong Kong. Totally, I think moving around helped me learn a lot and kind of get just expose me to so many different cultures and see how the world worked in so many different places. So I think a lot of maybe the problem or the issues with big companies is that they have assumptions about the way business is done, right? Like that's why they're not lean or agile or what have you. But you can apply that to to individuals too. Like sometimes you think that the certain way something is done is the way it's done everywhere, and you have these assumptions that you build up without knowing you're building them up. And I was lucky enough where I would build up some assumptions after like 2 to 3 years of living in London, for example, and then I would move to Singapore, which is kind of like the complete opposite. And I was kind of like hit against the head with or slapped in the face with so many different ideas and different ways of doing things that I think I'm just a lot more open-minded about a lot of things, because every single time I've been closed-minded, I've been like proven wrong, by a different culture, or a different country, or a different government. So I think it definitely helped a lot. So I first met Seth, one of the co-founders of Turntable, actually in a turntable room. I was just trying out the service. This was in the first couple of weeks of it being live, and just thought it was really cool and was just curious if I could do anything to help, So I just jokingly said that you guys needed a mobile app, and he jokingly wrote back that no shit, Sherlock. And that's kind of how we met. And then, we grabbed coffee a couple times, and I talked to Billy over the phone. And they were a super small team at the time. They were like 3 people, and they didn't really need a full-time person, and I wasn't looking for a full-time thing. I was kind of in between Pinterest and probably doing my own startup. But I wanted to expose myself to another reference point of how a company works and how a company is built from the ground up, right? I had one experience, but it's really, I couldn't, kind of compare that experience to anything else, And I think that's what, it taught me a lot. It taught me, kind of how a different company operated, and it was very different, Like Pinterest, they're both co-founders are non-technical, they're new at this, they're both, living in Palo Alto, whereas with Turntable, it's like there's 2 super, like their track records are both pretty stellar, entrepreneurs that live far away, and are building a very kind of different product. So it was really cool to see, how they kind of tackled raising money or press or hiring or product decisions, and things like that, just from those kind of 2 point of views.